The following contest is a Hell in a Cell match and is for the Hardcore Championship.
Talk about a sentence I never thought I would hear before. The following contest is a Hell in a Cell match, and it is for the Hardcore Championship. You know, there's been crazier things said in wrestling, I'm sure, but that one's up there, I'll tell you. And here comes participant number one, shedding the dead man look here today, getting on the motorcycle for this Hell in a Cell matchup with Bruiser Brody. The Undertaker and Bruiser Brody have crossed paths before in the Undertaker's very early days, before he was ever even known as the Undertaker, and he has even said that he got the hell beaten out of him by Bruiser Brody. But will that be the same here today, as an established, skilled, and seasoned American badass, the Undertaker, enters Hell in a Cell with one of the most savage and sadistic men to ever enter pro wrestling, Bruiser Brody? I don't think we will see the same result that was seen by whoever saw Bruiser Brody beat the hell out of a young Mark Calloway, also known as The Undertaker. Here comes the Hardcore Champion himself. It's Bruiser Brody, everybody. I don't know if people have a lot to say about the Hardcore Championship. I even made my jokes about it earlier on, but if ever there was a fitting champion for that belt, it was Bruiser Brody. Could you imagine if he was actually in that division? He would have probably only ever needed the chain. I mean, I'm sure he would have utilized any of the plunder around, but I think it would have been fewer and further between compared to some of the other competitors inside the hardcore division when it existed in World Wrestling Entertainment. But all the same, here we go, Hardcore Championship about to be on the line. We're going to take it down to the ring for the introduction of our participants here in our Fantasy Warfare season finale main event.
Introducing the challenger from Death Valley, weighing in at 330 pounds, the Undertaker! And introducing the champion from Santa Fe, New Mexico, weighing in at 284 pounds, he is the Hardcore Champion, Bruiser Brody!
Bruiser Brody showing off the Hardcore Championship hardware to everybody. I got to admit that the title looks like it's had a little bit of sprucing up. It's got a shine to it I've never quite seen it have before. The Undertaker, a former Hardcore Champion, he has held that belt once before, holding it in 2002. The Hell in a Cell structure officially lowering around everybody. The referee checking with both participants, and we are officially underway. It's our main event of Fantasy Warfare. It's kind of ironic that the first announced main event of Fantasy Warfare in Season 1 was a Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Sting. And here we are in Episode 18, the season finale. We are closing it out with a Hell in a Cell match. Now you might be saying, hey, Season 1, Episode 1 did not end with the Hell in a Cell matchup, and you are very correct. We felt The Undertaker and Sting didn't perform up to the expectations of a season debut. So we had 30 participants run their asses down to the ring for a Royal Rumble match. But we're talking announced main events, that's right. A little technicality, a little asterisk, the announced main event. Taker just beating the hell out of Brody. He must be like, hey, I remember that beating from back in the day when I was a little youngster here in the world of wrestling, and you beat the holy hell out of me. I'm going to beat the holy hell out of you. Nice power slam counter by The Undertaker. Taker now grabs that sledgehammer. That's got to be about one of the only weapons you could beat Brody with to keep him down, and even 2 shots from the hammer didn't keep him down. 2 shots from the hammer just seemed to piss him off. Taker and Brody brawling it out here as Bruiser Brody just with a wonderful hip toss takes The Undertaker over. I don't know what the hell that was. That made me dizzy. But it was devastating, whatever the hell it was. It took The Undertaker down. Taker sweeping the legs out on Bruiser Brody, smashing the hand off the canvas. Taker with a short and shallow elbow drop on Bruiser Brody. Now bringing Brody back up to his feet and sends him flying across the ring. Taker driving that sledgehammer again into the torso of Bruiser Brody. Tried for a 3rd shot. Brody moves out of the way again. How is Brody absorbing all these sledgehammer shots? Oh, a choke slam. Taker quickly into the cover. Referee is there. Will we get 3 on this one? No, we do not. I should have figured the answer to that question was no. Bruiser Brody has absorbed 4 different sledgehammer shots so far in this matchup with The Undertaker and has managed to get right back up to his feet as The Undertaker hits snake eyes on Bruiser Brody and going into the triangle choke, the Hell's Gate on Bruiser Brody. And that's one way to keep him down. Choke him till he's passed out. I sure as hell can make a joke about Puerto Rico. Well, try to keep Bruiser Brody down. We all know the story there. We don't need to make jokes about that one, but I will admit that it crossed this commentator's mind. Brody with the hard shot to the torso, and a second one, and another. Bruiser Brody going to town with the sledgehammer, returning all the shots, but The Undertaker absorbs them all himself and hits Bruiser Brody with the flying clothesline. Boot to the midsection. Could it be time for a last ride? No, it's not. No last ride as Brody back body drops The Undertaker and goes back to that sledgehammer. These 2 monsters have just been utilizing the sledgehammer thus far. Brody was choking out The Undertaker, but Taker was able to counter away. Brody counters whatever attack Taker was coming back with the shots in the midsection. Got him on the shoulders. Taker countering with elbows, gets himself back down to a standing base. Lock up. Bam! Complete shot. Taker's got Brody up on the shoulders, but Brody countering the same way The Undertaker did just moments ago. Arm wringer by Brody. Got him up. Nice side suplex with the arm trapped from behind. It was a hammerlock suplex. Hammerlock side suplex to be more exact. Brody has got Taker, and he just dumps him to the floor like a sack of potatoes. I guess in that case, it was more like a sack of bricks, because he dropped him like he was having a hard time holding him. Taker with a jawbreaker. I think Taker was trying for a boot there, but it didn't really work out for him. Bruiser Brody sends The Undertaker down into the ring steps. That didn't really work out for him either. Whole lot of not working out for everybody in this one. Taker jawbreaker one more time. Brody with a jawbreaker himself. European uppercut by Bruiser Brody on The Undertaker, and Taker returns some of the same as these 2 continue brawling it out on the floor. And now Bruiser Brody busted wide open by The Undertaker. Taker sends Brody into the ring steps. Thought maybe he was going to go for the Hell's Gate on the floor. Brody shoving The Undertaker away with a nice hard shot. Taker gets hit with the European uppercut. Oh, into the cage wall. Brody sends The Undertaker. And one more time. This time he sends him flying down to the floor. Not quite sure what Bruiser Brody's endgame is here. He just keeps whipping The Undertaker back and forth. I thought for a moment there he might have been trying to break free from the Hell in a Cell structure. But instead he sends The Undertaker back into the ring. Maybe Brody realizing that the structure had been reinforced, knowing that it was The Undertaker and Bruiser Brody, and The Undertaker's got Bruiser Brody. He's walking around, last ride for Bruiser Brody. Taker into the cover. We get 2. And Bruiser Brody kicks out of the count of 2. The last ride, not enough to put the madman known as Bruiser Brody away. Now The Undertaker heading into the corner. Could it be time for some old school rope walker? Down he comes with the old school rope walker. And now The Undertaker is stalking Bruiser Brody. Boot to the midsection. Could it be another last ride? He's got him up. Referee in our freaking way, but it was a last ride. The Undertaker into the cover. We get 2, and we get 3. The Undertaker wins the Hardcore Championship, defeating Bruiser Brody here in our main event of the week. What a matchup. Bruiser Brody really tried to break through the cell wall for a little while there, but I don't think he quite had the mechanics of it figured out, because he wasn't really getting nowhere, and it ended up coming back to haunt him as The Undertaker lands 2 last rides to pick up the victory and become the brand new Hardcore Champion here in our season finale of WWE 2K22 Fantasy Warfare. Well, my friends, that officially brings Season 1 of WWE 2K22 Fantasy Warfare to a close. I'd like to take this quick moment here to thank everybody that has come along during Season 1 and watched the individual matches, watched the full shows, chatted along, offered suggestions, offered matches, whatever you have done on this road. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to come here each and every week and watching WWE 2K22 Fantasy Warfare content. It has been a thrill to be putting together this show each and every week for you, the viewer. And I look forward to bringing it all back for Season 2. Come on back. Friday night, April the 7th, 6 p.m. right here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillBox. It will be the Season 2 premiere of WWE 2K23 Fantasy Warfare. And of course, you might be asking yourself, what are we going to do in the next month? Is it just going to be crickets around the Fantasy Warfare YouTube channel? Absolutely not. During Season 1, Mondays we would post a bonus match. Wednesdays we would give you the match card, and Fridays we would give you a full episode. Well, over this next month, be sure to come here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because we will be dropping bonus matches each of those days as we get ready for Season 2 of WWE 2K23 Fantasy Warfare. But until that time, I have been your host, Bloody Bill Box. And you can find me on social media at Bloody Bill Box across all the wild, wild land. And until Friday night, April the 7th at 6 p.m. Eastern, you kids keep it safe out there. But then you come on back here April the 7th, and you know where I'll be? I'll be at ringside. And you know who I'll see there? I'll see you